think. Yes. Back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Super Lag Show.
I know.
Join our guest, Lag and Slow and Stupid Livestream. So Livestream, how's it like to be the worst thing ever? Pretty good. Did I ruin your show? You sure did. Let's hear it from the band, the sucky piece of crap. Well, that's appropriate for our program tonight. Where are you going? You can't leave me like this. Oh no. Well, we're back. So we'll another clap test. All right. The time is 9:30. I'm sure, like, all of these writers on that storyboard show don't have to clap at their audience. Oh man, it's one day after another with this live stream and freezing. All right, we got claps. 9:30. All right, we're closer to time. You know, this is like, but you know, the best things have lag. Like when Street Fighter 3 first came out online, it was laggy and your Hadoukens would not connect. And what's the point? Well, no, but you enjoy Street Fighter otherwise. So as much as you guys love this show, you just hate the delivery of it. So don't blame the show, blame the messenger. Oh, thank you. You brought me water. I'm just...
Better?
Good enough. Yay. What, you don't like us enough to clap for us, says Flux Flux? Alright, let's not be putting words in places.
Yeah. Don't put your words in places.
You put your words in places. Flux Flux, I see what you're doing. Welcome back to the Lag Hour.
Welcome.
That sounds like a scary time, like, the lag hour is upon us. Like when Coraline was like, so there's no more trouble, and like, but the lag hour is here.
It sounds kind of like a jaguar, but like a slow one. The lagwire.
The lag
It's just like...
You're being chased by the lag wire, and it's like... And you're like, oh my god, should I run? Or just walk
And then it's like...
slowly.
And slowly it's on you. Ah!
Yeah, that'd be the worst, actually. Because that's the worst thing about lag.
That's like The Ring. I hate scary.
You would love this. One of those freaky shows, movies that came out called like Mother or Madam or Lady.
It's called No Thank You,
This
Madam.
Japanese horror called No Thank You, Madam came out. And they uploaded a screen test for the freaky walking.
No.
That's all the video was this. I swear it must have been a skinny man or something, but this guy with crazy thin arms is like...
No, I hate it.
Like walking around, and I'm like, oh my god. All at the camera, I'm like, this is the worst.
Oh, this drives me crazy.
I was gonna send it to you, but I don't think I did.
Of course you were gonna say no. Thank you for not. Give me nightmares.
It's great though. It was just like a test, because I guess you gotta test this stuff. You don't just like wing it on the film.
I'm really bad at stuff. I remember, like, people are... If you do this, I won't be your friend. But I remember someone sending me this video, and I was like, oh, what's this? And it's like this poem with like, la la la.
Oh
la,
god,
la, la.
that's when I
And it's friend
suspected it.
And I'm like reading it, and suddenly it's this like dead mummy face, and it's like, ah! Like this scream, and I was just like...
They actually did that in an episode
fell
of
out
Gravity
my chair.
Falls.
Did they really? Because that's the
Yeah,
worst. I hate it.
It's in the Halloween
it made me
episode.
Not trust
It's great.
anything ever again. Someone sends me a present, and I'm like...
Yo, that's when that was the early era of Flash, when I just stopped trusting Flash sites altogether. I'm like, no, I'm not going.
Yeah, even if I have the stand off, I'm still like...
Essentially. I'm not sure what else is really good. I feel like we hit most of our topics. Unless you guys have questions, I'd love to show you what's on the screen, but Katie's working on Star Wars.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I can show. I'm working on a character for a comic.
Really?
I'm just trying to figure out the colors.
I see.
Can we share?
Yeah, if you want.
Go for it.
You're in control.
Ah, okay.
I have nothing to do with this. You have the mouse.
Is it screen?
Yes. But it might be... Alright, there you go.
Okay, so I'm just figuring out colors.
Well, that's nice.
This is the main character from a comic we're working on right now. That is due very now.
Yes,
so
we need to
we have to
jigger it a little because it went over time.
Yeah, we wrote a script that was huge, and it's a 16-page story, so... yes.
Actually, I haven't seen the thumbs yet. So
and Cal, yeah, this is the thing.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm going to... Maybe, can I do both?
What?
2D mix?
Yeah, we can say, hi, welcome to the show. Look at that. It's art. Oh man, it's so good.
Which way am I pointing?
Nowhere. There you go.
Look at my art. Wait, why is it going that way?
We're back.
That way. I'm gonna just go back to all faces.
Oh really? Okay.
Because you can just watch me pick colors. Okay, one more time.
Huh, I gotta like stretch this out. Go. We're back. So that's coming up. A bunch of other things coming up too. Actually, lots of. What was it? What was it? So last night was quite a steamy night indeed.
What? Is this a tea pun?
No, it actually wasn't. I finished recording chapter 14.
Yeah, you did.
Of Shaggy Reads Twilight.
Yeah, you did.
But here's the thing. So like, it was kind of a mild night in Toronto. Usually it's actually pretty cold. And it's cold again, hence the hat.
I know exactly where this is going.
But like, I took a shower before because I needed to freshen up for voice acting and stuff. And my hair was kind of damp. And then I go to recording, so I'm in front of the mic with the headphones on, and I'm reading this book. And chapter 14, I guess, may be one of the more steamier, as I said, because it's all like, Edward's in a room, she's lying down, contact of the lips on the neck, and it's all that kind of stuff. And I'm sweating buckets reading this.
And your girlfriend walks in.
But not because it's like so hot and good. I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, because I'm trying to read, I'm just dripping. And I'm like, come on! It's because there's a light and a microphone and the headphones, I swear. It's not the story. Like, I kept getting, like, paper towels and friggin' dousing myself off, just with absorbents. Yeah, right.
Who walked in?
No one walked in. It wasn't that.
Amazing if Helen walks in.
It wasn't that. No one walked in.
And then Bella.
Ooh, this is good stuff. But, you know, it's ugh. I thought it was going to be a funner read, but then, like, this is, not to spoil it, but why not? I don't care. There was this moment where it's like, so Bella, what do you want to do now? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, I want to ask you questions. I'm like, that's been the last 7 chapters. Stephanie Meyer, you exposition. Oh my gosh, stop asking him questions.
What's your favorite color?
I'm like, I wish he just handed her a pamphlet when he protected her from the car. He's like, if you have any questions. Yes, vampire. I'm like, all right, good, because that's what this whole.
To my blog.
But that's what this whole book is. Like, I know people hate Twilight because they're like, man, Twilight. But like, I like to be rational with my hate, as you've learned from this show. And it's just like, it's just every chapter is just trying to explain how vampires work, basically. And it's like, dude, you could have summed this up way earlier, but we're stretching it along. I want story, not a Wikipedia with a pun every now and then.
Get to some character. That's what we're saying. Character interaction. That's not like
there's no. Yeah, basically she's spoon feeding us how vampires work the whole book. I'm like, dude, you could have got that done when Bella was online looking up vampires, because I had all the answers. But no. That was just the start, because as we were told, Wikipedia is a great place to start, but not a good place to finish your research. So then she goes on and it's basically an interview with a vampire in a bedroom. That's all this book is. Nice. And in the woods, and in a car, and never shutting up with the questions. I'm like, just, oh my gosh.
So when do we get to see the new chapter?
TV Dinner says he finally did the Edward voice live.
I love it! I can't, like, because I watched the show, I'm like, that's not Edward's voice.
That's not Edward at all. He's not thinking enough. If you're wondering what this is all about, it's Shaggy Reads Twilight, and you can listen to it while you draw. It's great.
It's great. I gotta say, like, because you know, it's whether you're a fan or whether you don't like it. It's
hate as and love as alike.
It's enjoyable.
It's for everyone. It's a treat. And I do it for charity, and I'm like blood oath to do the rest of them now.
It's fun because it's like I enjoy that you go off on a tangent, and then it's like the boop boop, and then like the clack of the new shot kind of thing. Yeah. And it goes back and tells it.
It takes you back.
Because it's like I listen to audiobooks now and I almost expect that, but no one goes off on a tear.
It's like that guy didn't catch like that stupid plot twist. It's like,
yeah, it's like, wait a minute.
And he just went along with it. See, that's why you can't hire me to do a book on tape. Like, I'd love you to, but it's like, I'd just ruin your story. Because I'm just like, wait a minute. It's like, shut the fuck man. Shut up. Good. Don't tell them. But that's why I'm writing my own book on tape, which is kind of full of this stuff.
I'm excited for that.
But I'm curious if it's like, will it feel too intentional if I take tangents? Because it's like...
Well, I mean, Terry Brooks does that, where it's like... No, sorry, not Terry Brooks, Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
His Discworld stories reveal asterisks, and you go down and read it. And when it's an audiobook, it's kind of the aside happens, and it's usually, they're really funny.
Yeah.
And you don't have to read it to enjoy the story, but it's like this extra funny...
Oh, I love the sides. Like, that's kind of like... That was the other thing... Like, that was one of my favorite things about, like, British authors is not asides per se, but just I love their narratives that, like, you'll lose in a movie version because there's no voiceover. But I love, like my one of my favorite lines from Douglas Adams in Hitchhiker's Guide is it says that the ships were floating in the air the way that bricks don't.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes a lot of sense because it's just like, it shouldn't be there. Like, it's so big, it doesn't make any sense that it's there, like a brick. You know, and I'm like, alright, that's cool.
I like that.
And of course, my favorite J.K. Rowling narrative of all time: the chances of this happening were as likely as Snape adopting Harry. And I'm like, yes, because that captures everything pretty much. Why not?
So good.
That sounds really fun, Shaggy. Yeah. I haven't actually. The problem is the one I'm writing is still just a whole bunch of ideas. I haven't solidified it yet, and it's actually incorporating some other stuff that I was writing before, but decided not to do. Shaggy, there are bloopers for the Dresden Files where James Marston does that all the time. So I assume. Sorry, Marsters, not Marston.
I think the author of the Dresden Files is in one of those
producers just edited out
storyboard Google Hangout chats as well. There's a ton of authors who've written a ton of great stuff on there.
Well, because on top of it, like I originally used to do the blooper reels, like the outtakes of Shaggy's Twilight, because it was mainly just me fumbling and swearing, and it's hilarious. But it's like once in a while there's stuff where I'm just like, this is kind of funny, but I don't want it in the regular story because it's just like too much of a tangent or something like that. So I just like save it, but I don't really do those as much because it's just more editing. So like,
I love your side characters.
I miss them all.
Who's the one who's like the dog?
The what? Mike Newton. He's for whatever reason he's been I play him as a dog because he's always around Bella being like like he's so desperate for her attention.
I love it. It's so good.
Even though Jacob's the werewolf, I give him no dog-like things at all.
No.
I don't know, it's just like, I'm looking forward to doing mine, because, you know, I could publicly announce I'm doing it, is one thing.
You don't have to hide.
I'm not hiding from the Meyer Foundation.
It's like you think she's actually on a computer right now searching for you. Like,
yeah, she's going to hunt me down one of these days. Like a dog.
Interview you.
And the additional treat is every 10 episodes, there's a guest forward.
Yeah.
And it's usually...
I gotta say, the first forward might put off sensitive people. It's you pretending to be J.K. Rowling, like, spouting the most filthy...
heinous, offensive things.
I want to say vitriol, but I don't know how to insert it into the sentence. But it's just like, whoa! But it's like...
It's the opening line.
That's about as bad as it gets.
I set the tone.
That, it's Twilight.
Well, because basically what I do with the guest forwards is it's basically my impression of how that author is with no formal knowledge at all of how they sound or talk or what they even wrote. So I have like the guy from Ender's Game, and I'm just like, I have no idea what he sounds like, but let's go for it. But yeah, it's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
I like listening to stories read by people I know, though. Like reading Graham.
Oh my gosh,
reading
yeah,
Graham Ender's Game. I'm like, this is great. I want all my friends to read me stories. I don't want to. I just want to, because even when they stumble, I'm like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I feel like,
dude.
Let me put it this way. So it's like, if you guys have enjoyed, you know, books on tape and stuff, or if we did one, like, if there's a book you think we should read, and we don't want to pony up the $40 in iTunes or something, why don't you guys read it for us?
Yeah.
So here's your homework for the year. Each one of you, grab your favorite book that you think everyone should hear. Not just for us. This is just if you have a microphone and a lot of spare time. And record yourself reading it. Just for the heck of it. Like, why not? See how it goes. And, you know, you cut it together and you get some jokes and stuff like that every now and then. But, like, once again, this all started because a friend of mine, Graham, recorded himself reading Ender's Game for me because I told him I never read Ender's Game. I probably never will. He's like, duh! So he just got a microphone and started reading it for me. I'm like, that's so nice. He didn't do the epilogue yet, though, so I'm on the edge of my seat for the past 2 years.
Yeah, what happens?
Yeah, what's happening? Did you get to the end?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ender's is a good book.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a fair book I never read.
I don't know when it came out, but I feel like it kind of lays down a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. And I feel like it was probably written in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or I'm like,
it's high concept, though. It's all happening now.
Yeah, like, it feels very...
Yeah,
it could be, like... well, I mean, it's a future story, but I'm like, yeah, this feels about right.
Yeah, it's not... It doesn't feel like a dated future story. Like, you could still make it, like, verbatim, and it still works. Pretty much. Because they're all using, like, iPads and stuff. They call it, like, the tablets or tabletops or whatever. Like, they had, like, touchscreens since the beginning. Very Star Trek, I suppose. But, yeah, so, you know... If you think we should read a certain book, then why don't you record yourself reading a book and we can listen to it and have a good time and everyone enjoys. And we'll have, like, the Shanahanigans Live Book Club. The club where you don't read yourself. You read for other people and then they listen. And then we all have, you know, and if everyone was doing it often enough, then we all get a different chapter. You'd like, wouldn't that be the coolest club to be a part of?
Fun.
You'd always have something to listen to because, like, every day a new chapter would be coming out, or every few days, to some story.
Flexbox says, audio comic books. I read and tell you what is going on in each panel. You know, that stuff does stick in my head, though, because I remember as a kid, Dad reading me The Tick.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I really
so
loved
the voice
it.
Was
and so the voice of The Tick was, like, my dad, So when like cartoons came out, I'd be like, "That's not my dad." It was
That's not my dad's voice.
Yeah.
What is this bullshit?
But it was something that just kind of stuck in. I remember when Heather was little, and I don't know if she remembers it or even enjoyed it, but I read her Bone, the entire thing.
Really?
And I had voices for the different Bone characters and everything, and I had a lot of fun reading it. Because it was the little single trades, and so I'd read through it all, and yeah, it was fun.
To contrast that, I read her Something from Nothing in my Italian in my Italian voice.
Oh, yeah.
it was this short story where the kid, like, Grandpa makes him like this blue star.
It's a Jewish fairy tale, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to do the Jewish accent though.
Weird...
I just did the Italian accent the whole time.
But it's such a bizarre.
And it was like, Grandpa che fix it, Joseph said, and so Grandpa spun it around and said, it's Sniper Steve.
It's a really cute story. It's a Christmas story.
And I just kept reading it. It's like, and then you got a wonderful button.
You sound like Mario reading it. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's just, I read it to her like every other week or something like that. Just an exact, like I knew it verbatim after a while. And I just like, it's fun. It's like, and then he went in and out and in and out.
I think you read a Coraline too.
I don't know if I did. I started reading Heather Anna Green Gables, which was fun because it's basically the cast of Twilight.
Your Marilla was so mean.
My Marilla was the voice of Snape, basically. Because she's like, Anne, you've done it again.
You make her so mean.
Oh, Anne, what am I going to do with you? You know. And then her and Mr. Marilla, what's his name? Matthew was just kind of like, what?
It's not Mr. Marilla.
Marilla, a gorilla for sale. Oh but yeah, it's fun reading books for other people, honestly. And though, like you were, you're gonna like fumble some lines and stuff, you know.
Okay, I think those guys are fighting again.
What's going on here? All right, let's backtrack a bit. Let's see, Adam, because you touch yourself. Wait, what? What's going on?
This is a PG forum.
I missed something here. There are no copyright issues regarding this idea of reading entire books. I don't know.
That's why I was hiding from
Shut
Stephanie
up about
Mayer.
the books, man. Stop talking. Stephanie's listening. Don't talk about the Twilight, damn it. Actually, just stop talking. I hope there's not a problem, because if we keep it like... You know, it's kind of like, alright, here's the difference.
Someone flipped a table in a drawing. I want to go back to that because that's really cute.
Here's the difference of thinking.
Table being flipped.
Did someone actually flip a table?
Yeah, and Adam's like that.
It says, why can't I draw hands? Oh, I never noticed that. That's amazing. Well done. I like that.
Well done. There's a video game. Have you seen that, Flip a Table?
Yes, it's an arcade game in South Korea, I think, where you could flip a table in Rage and get scored on it. And I'm like, damn, son.
It's like characters will come in and deliver news or things, so you just,
it's basically,
it's like this kid comes in and shows an F, and you're like,
it's basically our Time Crisis. Instead of the foot pedal and gun, you flip a table with a newspaper or something like that, and there's like certain combos, I don't know. Flux is saying the copyright law gets a bit hazy if you're a non-profit and not really making it too available. Yeah, you're safe. Adam, what is going on? Are fighting Adam? Shaggy, Andrew, and Adam are fighting again. I think you need to come in here and take care of it. Yeah, a lot of silliness. I think we're getting a little too giddy with all this talking. But the point I was making is, you know, it's fun to actually read books out loud for other people and also for your own sake, because often we tend to read things in our mind. And I always, in the early days, doing the voice acting workshop, I was telling people, you know what, like, read your video games out loud if you're playing like, nowadays it's a little harder because they keep casting those bastards, but like in your old RPGs, like Final Fantasy 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Tales of Destiny and all that good stuff, there was no voices, and you could play it and be like, you know, I'm Zelda, do like, you can do whatever you want, have a good time.
That's one of your voices. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
From which, though?
That's your Anne Hathaway voice.
Yes. This has gone many levels. I'm glad I'm recognizable. My work is, well...
and I have to...
Even Brad still remembers that.
If you guys are just joining us now, if you haven't seen his talking to the camera, there's...
You're going back.
Season 2.
Well, that was season 1.
He's got all these
that
bizarre
was 1.
skits,
That was
which
way
I
back
love,
when.
and I highly recommend.
That was...
Some of them are like talking to Anne Hathaway on a bus stop, and she's got this like fake mouth that talks, but it's that voice.
Wow.
How's it going, Shaggy?
That was... That's the polka days.
Yeah, with the
coffee.
polka drink with that awkward character on the Japanese coffee drink.
And
so good, guys. If you want to treat yourselves with some funny videos, check them out.
A blast from the past. Go to my YouTube channel.
It's a lot of like stuff happening and like reviews and then short skits.
Cal McDonald says, in Final Fantasy IX, I read Zidane as Keanu Reeves and Steiner as Shatner. See, like, exactly. Like, whether it's in your head or not, like, if you want to do it out loud, it's kind of like, I don't know, did we ever read out loud Parasite Eve?
Probably.
It's like, oh no, everyone's genetics. Giant rats. My shoes are too tight.
I think you read Zelda and stuff like that.
Maybe, I don't know.
Correctly.
I bring up once in a while, back when we were younger, like, it's so different now. Like, when you grow older, gaming has changed quite a bit, where we just want to get to the point. We don't have time to unlock stuff. We'd rather pay than unlock stuff. We've been all about this. But there's a mindset behind that, too, where when we were kids, we had the time to play and unlock and be like, yeah, new character in Smash Bros. But at the same time, we didn't just play video games as the games. We played with them as toys. Like, me and Katie would play Mario Kart and have, like, a story going on with, like, Wario and Princess Peach driving around doing things and, like, making great escapes over the castle.
We were going to talk about that briefly, and, Animal Crossing was as
short
as 5 years ago, but we had that, one of the towns was, like, Mordor or something.
Yeah.
No. It was you had a scientist character, and my little character was, like, this, like...
We had 2 different Animal Crossing worlds. We had Alley Town, which was
great.
ideal. It was great. Then we had Bon Rive.
What was it? Bon Rive. And there was
which was a less than
shifty things happening.
It was a weird place, and friends would visit from Bon Rive and leave like strange messages, and it added backstory. The main story of Bon Rive added backstory to Alley Town, but Alley Town had some weird stuff going on too. Okay, so we talked about how games have more going on in them if you want them to. So let me set the scene. So Animal Crossing, of course, was the GameCube game. You're a little person with horns, I think. I'm not talking about Ico or Eco. And you just show up in a town.
Does he also get to dress up a house?
Yeah, he had a good time with it. You show up in town, you're given a house by a big raccoon, Tom Nook, and you live your life, basically. And there's 5 people in town. At the time, we had Gruff, who was a goat.
He was great.
We had Leo, who was a lion. We had, oh god, what was the name of that chipmunk? The pink one. Or no, she wasn't pink. She was gray. She was irritating, the little thing. Those are the main 3 characters, really, because they had the most importance. There's other ones, too, but they didn't leave an impression. But, like, I started noticing weird stuff was going on in town in Animal Crossing. Like, there's this whole story arc that started when I was upgrading my house at some point. And, like, characters would start disappearing. Around the same time, Tom Nook's shop was growing bigger. And I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like...
What's happening in the wall?
And I thought, like, maybe that other chipmunk girl, that squirrel girl, was, like, buried in the foundations or something like that after they built a new one. But then this new Messiah chipmunk showed up, who was this pink one with, like, glowing eyes, and I thought she was the second coming of the original squirrel chipmunk girl. But, like, and then we had this burial ground of all those little wobbly guys, and
creepy.
the Eye of Sauron signs and stuff. And then the Sauron cult was growing because we built T-shirts with the Eye of Sauron. And people would start wearing the shirts, and it was like... I'm not explaining this well because
like the Hobbit all over again.
You had to really be there, but there was a lot of intrigue in my Animal Crossing, and I was like cutting trees down and hitting people's houses, and I was digging holes in front of people's houses, and a lot of stuff going on there. But the point is, I'm trying to make, you had to be there. Point is, there was a lot more you could do with games. I felt when we were younger, like you could play like just playing in games, not playing the game, but playing in games.
Well,
like.
Gosh, too. I mean, even just look at all the fan fiction that comes afterwards. We play a game, and then like we wrote so much Final Fantasy fan
That's
fiction.
True.
We wrote so many comics we were gonna make of like ridiculous things that like don't even relate to the characters at all, but in our weird warped version, it's like, well, of course, Sephiroth owns an island and wants everyone to come hang out on the island.
We wrote a comic that was a Final Fantasy VIII burger restaurant.
So good.
That was great.
Edia's Burgers.
It's called Edia Burgers, and then maybe like 6-7 years later, Robot Chicken had the Final Fantasy VII burger sketch.
That's when I knew that it was the show for me.
And we're like, wow,
like, this is random.
kindred spirits
here.
Think of this? Yeah, no, it was fully written comic too. It was all about how Squall had to like pretend to run a burger shop to like foil Edia's plans because it was Edia's burger shop. So Sid got him a job at the burger. There's a lot going on in this story. I'm telling you,
it was really funny.
It was good stuff. Yeah, like and even going back to say like GoldenEye or something like that, where once you unlocked all those like abilities and things like that, you could. I'd basically just run around the game in invisibility mode with like double rockets and just like being a dick and not even playing the missions, just like, you can't see me, boom, you can't see me, kind of thing. So, you know, it's a different time.
Yeah. Truly.
Yeah, I don't really do that anymore. That being said, Griffball was just added to Halo 4, so that's a treat.
Griffball.
It's when you play Griffball. Well, it's almost 10 o'clock. So unless you guys got anything else you gotta say, we got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Is there anything else happening? Oh, Gabby just joined us. I'm mad late. Well, you just joined us in the final 5 minutes. If you guys have anything else to say, you can throw it in, because I'm out of topics. I didn't live this week that much.
No, mostly
I'll be sure to watch some things. I think there's a new episode of Archer out. There might be a new Braves. Why are we both like off screen? This is the worst show.
You mean the best show?
There might be a Bravest Warriors out. Check that out. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on.
Oh yeah, I just watched the latest one.
Oh,
we had a behind the scenes video of the kid who's the voice of Catbug.
I see Catbug.
Who is in the see-through thing where he looks up at him and he's like this little cat who's like a ladybug back, and there's like this bug and he's like, "Hi, I'm Cat. My name's Catbug. What's yours?" And it's just this little child voice, and it's so cute. So cute.
I'll have to see that.
It was the one with the Tara Strong.
Yeah. As that fishy person or something. That was interesting. Maybe a little.
Oh yeah.
Gabby says comics.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, comics. We talk about those on the show.
We sometimes mention comics.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up on Archer. I'm really behind.
How far behind are you?
I only watched the first 2 seasons.
Oh. Season 3 just came out, though.
Yeah.
So you're not that behind. There's like 2-3 episodes. That's it.
Yes.
Not too bad. Definitely do that. Definitely watch all of Archer. It is honestly one of my favorite shows right now. I love the writing. I cannot even comprehend how they write it so well.
I think I went to this last show, but I know when you've been watching it because you're extra sarcastic. I've been watching the show.
If I watched Archer too recently, I'm like,
it's very a huge smartass.
It's like, very influential, because every comment requires some sort of smartass response basically in that show. So you just gotta like learn to be like that. Which one, says Gabby? I'm not really sure what they're talking about. All the comics. You guys are very good at topics tonight.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of comics, I think I read earlier that Andrew Murray had read
a
Silly
comic?
Kingdom again.
Oh. It's like Andrew read a comic?
Silly Kingdom.
Oh, was that a segue? Silly Kingdom, of course. Fine quality piece of literature. It will be studied for the ages for its deeper meanings. What was the author thinking at the time? Well, you can read it yourself and do a study. There'll be a course on it. And you could, do that. You can also do that by downloading it online, of course, for 99 cents.
Yes, because alas, we are pretty much sold out of
pretty much.
I've got a couple, but they're mostly just for emergencies, so I don't have the store up. But we will be reprinting.
Kel writes, "I'm sorry, your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass."
Oh, that's funny.
I love the show. There's gonna be more.
There's gonna be more.
There's one that was written a long time ago.
Totally. I'm starting to.
Man, that Google Doc is over a year old, man. I'm just saying. But I also finished the first draft of a script for another series. Not saying what though.
I was
just in
gonna
case.
look up to you like I'll get on it.
Which we'll see in another year.
Pay for me, and I won't take animation jobs. I'll just make comics. Buy me food. Pay my rent.
How's Hot Gimmick, Katie?
No!
Admit it. Intrigue. Not romance. Awful things. All this can be yours in Hot Gimmick in Viz Fat Ass Edition. 3 volumes in 1. That's twice the saucy fun. Viz, bringing you the finest in crap.
Me and my sister read it, and we're just like, what? And then we'll throw the book across the room and go retrieve it and read more.
What is this?
It's so
awful.
So bad.
See, this is why I read the shoujo with the integrity.
Yeah.
Like Beauty Pop. Wait, is that the one that was the hairstyle one?
You just like a character who's like...
She's so good. She's
you
so...
you like female protagonists
she's
who don't give a crap.
Yeah, I think that tends to be my favorite. I like the female...
I find I sometimes get annoyed by like the super like...
I like the female protagonist who's like
whatever.
outside the plot. She just doesn't care about anything that's going on.
Everybody's so enthusiastic.
But she still gets tied into it somehow. It's
I
all
like
good.
it because you don't see it too often.
Yeah. I'd probably write that. Hey Katie is 8.5 by 8.5 inch. Wait, what? There you go. Is 8.5 times 8.5 inch 5100 60 dpi TIFF Pal, good enough for printing comics. Isn't 300 good enough? You don't need 600.
I've heard 600 is good if it's black and white.
Yeah, if it's like the French books, those are huge.
You want to scan it high though, just to have it.
Wait, is that for scanning or print like your Photoshop?
I think I printed Silly Kingdom at 600.
600?
Might have, because I was super crazy with like the black lines because I didn't want to see any pixelation.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it should get a proof. See how it works. Don't print a whole batch without getting a proof first.
Yeah.
I mean, 8.5 by 8.5 is like a square, right? I guess. So.
I think so. That's a big square.
That should be fine. Yeah.
It's a big old square.
Yeah. Generally, 300 DPI is okay, but yeah, Cal says scan at 600. Have your original files at least be 600, and I think most print shops can handle it, so they should be anyone who's worth their salt can. So, yeah, I'm still figuring this stuff out though. But you know, Cal's made a lot of books, so actually, if you direct your questions at Cal, that's a good thing. So TV dinner, Cal TV dinner.
Sorcery 101, check that out.
Yes.
400 is fine for print though. 2 days is cool. 600 DPI as my scan goes. Good.
Excellent.
Visual scans of comics.
Good times.
It's 10 o'clock. We've been talking.
Stuff.
We got a thing to condense. Page limits. Right. So we gotta do that.
Yeah.
So you guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for putting up with live stream.
Yeah.
If you think Google Hangouts is even better, we could go down that avenue again. I don't know.
I'm just gonna show my drawing one more time.
Oh, really?
People want to see it.
Yes, let's take a look. See.
I haven't done much though. Boop. Yeah, look at that color. Oh my god, what's happening?
That's really nice. I like that.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out how to do the.
I haven't seen it on the actual computer. I'm like looking at it over here for the first time.
I made her too short.
It's got a bit of like I like the watercolory kind of thing, like the pastel. It's not. It's still. Is it still outlined?
It's a Copic marker setting in Sketchbook Pro, which I really like. It gives it a really nice blendy effect.
Alright.
So I enjoy that.
Very nice.
Yes,
very nice.
This is something that'll be popping up soon. So.
TV Dinner enjoys the chaos of live stream. Well, I'm glad you do. There's some men in the world, Master Boos, who enjoy the chaos of live stream.
Or TV Dinner.
That's TV Dinner. He's a nutter. Sorry, had to pull that out. Thank you guys for stopping by and looking at Katie's desktop. This has been another episode on Thursday of Shanahanigans Live. Live.
I'm watching the screen and there's a lag, so I don't know if it's open.
You good?
Yeah.
Check out, of course, the Facebook. Shanahanigans. S-H-A-N-A-H-A-N-A-H-A-N.
One more time.
Check out. If you're watching this show, you should know where the Facebook is.
But if you don't.
S-H-A-N-A-H-A-N-S .Facebook thing.
Something.
Extension. You want to check out the Tumblrs, of course, because Tumblrs where we repost all the silly fun stuff, like an episode of Arthur that features Neil Gaiman of all things. In a falafel of all things.
Which I found
delightful. Check out Katie Shaw on Tumblr, Shaky Shaw on Tumblr. Same for the Twitters, because that's how you know what we're up to on an instantaneous basement apartment. I'm losing my words. There's also, of course, you can check out the YouTube channel, Shanahanigans.live. You'll find all past episodes, because Livestream enjoys deleting our past episodes, because it's a free service.
Stay for long.
So it won't stay for long. So check that out. And anything else to report?
Tea Festival this week.
Tea Festival.
Hourly Comic Day is tomorrow. So
Hourly Comic Book Day.
You can make it as rough as you want, whatever. Just try and do the challenge of making a comic panel every hour, what that hour's up to. TV Dinner Katie, is that character for an anthology? It is! I can't say which just yet live, but once we have the go-ahead, we will announce the crap out of it, and you'll be like, okay, enough, and we will be like, no, we will keep telling you. So soon we will tell you about it soon. So.
Beyond that, SillyKingdom.com still works, I think.
Yeah, I renewed all those.
Yeah, we had some problems with that for a while.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So there you go. New Right Night on Monday if you're in the city.
Yeah, if you're in Toronto, check it out.
We might
not be able to make it, but in February things will be less crazy.
Right.
Me, so
making monsters, that's what the topic is.
Sounds like making pancakes.
That's what I posted there, making bacon pancakes. New York! Cool, we're gonna cut the show now.
Alright guys, bye!
See you around, have a good night.
I can't stop it.
Yes, you can.
Whoop, stop.